Hello, hello, hello. We are back.
Did you miss us?
It's been a long time,
Yeah, as you can
but we're
see,
back.
yeah, we're not in our normal red studio, but we decided to
We're red.
wear red. So we always want to be here. So Pastor John Perez, seminarian, PhD student accepted. That's news that you haven't heard. And to my left, I have.
Hi, I'm Dr. Paula C. Perez, educator, author, speaker, and coach, helping women attract, date, and marry the man of their dreams. And we work with couples too.
Yeah.
But we are glad to be here. It has been several weeks, and we thought that we would update you on what's been happening in our life. We have been doing so many things. We are definitely in our traveling season. So, to start off, today's topic today we are talking about
Drum roll.
the importance of dreaming bigger.
Mm.
Dreaming bigger because your love life requires vision. I don't know if you thought about that, but it's important that you have a picture in your mind of what it is you want. So, we just wanted to share how vision has played such a vital role in our life and how God just keeps opening doors because of it. So,
Go ahead.
I'm so excited.
Tell them what happened.
We had the retreat.
Right.
We were in St. Thomas we were there from April 10th through the 18th.
Right.
And it was fabulous. Our guests, they were treated like queens. They enjoyed themselves. And during the retreat, one of the things we had them do was dream big. We brought in vision boards, portable vision boards. It was so cute that allowed them to be able to really think about the vision that they have. And it was so cool. One of the things that I'd never done this before, one of our guests was looking for pictures that had to do with being proposed to, because, of course, it was a roadmap to marriage retreat. And her dream, her desire is to get that ring. I remember Chat GPT. So we plugged it in, and you would not believe the image that came out. I asked her to think about, where do you want to be proposed to? What's the scenery? What do you want it to look like? And she thought about the beach and having someone drop to the knee right there on the sand. And guess what? We got a picture of that very thing happening. So it's so cool. Just the importance of having that picture in your mind is so vitally important. So vitally important. So,
So, what pictures do you have in your mind? And have you taken the time to center it and center yourself on exactly, Lord, this is what I'm looking for? And I think having that focus is what will help you. Now, I'm not telling you to go out there and chase, but I'm asking you, what we're asking you is to imagine what it would be like, and imagine how it would, I would even imagine how you think you would feel, how this would really change you, and knowing that that change is coming. So are you now changing to prepare for the change?
And I want you to think about this. What if the reason you haven't experienced the love you desire is because you haven't really allowed yourself to dream big enough? So think about it. You all know my story. A year before this man found me at a women's retreat. It's all about retreats today. At a women's retreat,
that's true.
I blurted out, I feel like I'm going to be married in the year.
Yeah, and somebody was sitting in the audience.
Not him.
Not me.
But word got back.
Yours got back.
But because I had that in my mind, our minds are so powerful. Our words are so powerful. Let me also share this. One of the things that happened Back in December, I work with a coach, and I feel very strongly about the importance of having someone that has walked the path that you desire to walk and learning from their mistakes, learning from their expertise so you get what you want faster. Well, one of the things that I dreamt about was doing a TEDx talk. So I matched up with a coach that has done 5 TED Talks, and she has also organized numerous ones. I can't even count how many she's actually organized. Well, back in December, I believe, and I was on a coaching call with her today, and she reminded me, I couldn't remember how in the world did I do this, but this is what happened. In a coaching call, she told me to put down Wilmington, Delaware in my calendar. I'd forgotten that she had even done it. While we were at the retreat in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, on the last Wednesday we were there, I get an email inviting me to be one of the speakers at Delaware, Wilmington, or Wilmington,
Within
Delaware. And I can't tell you just how blown away I was. I have a vision board. I had created a book in the same book that we gave our participants at the women's retreat in St. Thomas. And one of the things that I had on there was the TEDx. So again, visioning, dreaming big. But what happens when God sees we are ready for more? That's when he opens the door. So just like with my husband, I prepared. I became a wife. I started doing wifely things. I started cooking because girls, I was not doing that before. But I started cooking. I went to the gym. I was getting fit. I started cleaning out things because I wanted there to be space whenever he came into my life for him to be able to walk right into it. And that's exactly what happened. And similarly, that's what happened with this TED Talk because I was prepared. When someone was not ready to get on stage, my coach said, I know someone that's done the work. She's written the story. She's been believing for this. And she called me and invited me to the stage because of it. And ladies, last Saturday, my husband and I were in Wilmington, Delaware for my first TEDx talk. Dreaming big. You got to see it to receive it. You got to speak those words. The power of our words is so, 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 so important to keep in mind. So, dreaming big. We want you all to remember just how important that is. And our retreat was amazing. One of the things the women left with was a vision for what they wanted to see. And one of the things I challenged them so many times, we have the list that we desire for our husband, for our wife. The question is, are you what they're looking for? We know what we want them to do, but are we doing the same types of things that's going to attract the type of meat that we are looking for? Important.
It is important. And it was great because I had a chance to interact with.
Ask Pastor John.
Yeah,
was
so
one of the highlights of the retreat.
Ask Pastor John, and they had prepared a number of questions.
40 minutes.
Yes, a 40-minute session of questions. And it was interesting, and it was thought-provoking to say the least. And I think that what I appreciated about it is they came prepared. They knew what they wanted to ask. They knew where they wanted to discuss, and we were able to discuss it. And I think I'll say this, the biggest question was submission. I think that was the one, that was the one to tackle. That was the one that came, I was like, okay, so how do you explain it? How do you deal with it? How does submission really work?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we spent a considerable amount of time in trying to understand the word submission. And that's a coaching call all by itself.
Yeah. And sadly, the world perverts everything.
Mm-hmm.
The world has made it where the man is dominating and they're, my way or the highway type attitude. That's not God's word for submission. And we're just really, really glad that he had an opportunity to really break it down, because sadly, there's been a lot of misteaching in our churches on what submission's all about.
Yeah, it's really what has caused more harm than good.
Mm.
And that's where I think that's where it really, I think was really crucial to get them to understand, because if we say something, it could be painful. And especially coming from a person in leadership. So if they see the pastor as that leader, and you explain that submission is the wife has to come home and clean, cook, and make the bed, you're going to have a problem. Matter of fact, you might not have a church after a while, because that's not the way God ever designed it.
Amen.
God, when he designed it, if you go back to Genesis, he made man and woman. He didn't say one to dominate over the other.
Side by side.
Look at what it says. Read. I want you to go back, and here's what I want you to challenge you. Read the Hebrew text and see what everybody hangs women on is Genesis 3. And they think, oh, it was Eve. No, it was both of them. Let's not fool ourselves here.
Actually, I say it was the man, because he was the one that got the directions. I'm just saying.
It was, at the end of the day, God held them both accountable. Did he not?
He did.
God held them both accountable. And if we read and understand the Hebrew text and not just read it superficially, we'll understand what God in his initial and his intent was.
Mm-hmm.
It was not about that. So, and I think that's what we have to stick with, this core message, right? Go ahead.
So we just want to remind you that dreaming in terms of your love life is not optional. It is not optional. And the thing is, most women who are successful, but not successful in love, it's because they're playing small in that area. They take the time to plan for their careers. They know where they want to be. They know the promotions that they're going to go after. But they don't do the same thing in terms of their relationship, their love life. They plan their careers, but they hope for a relationship. And when we don't have a vision that leads us, we have a tendency to settle. A lot of times we are confused about relationships because we don't have a clear vision of what we want. Who are misaligned with our purpose. And that becomes a mess. So we don't attract what we want. You know what we attract? We attract what we're prepared for. It takes it back to, what is it what you want in your mate, and are you what they're looking for?
Yeah. So if you're prepared for a train wreck, you're going to get a train wreck. If you're prepared for less than what you thought, it's because you did less than what you needed.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we get caught. Is preparation just is not just about what you do for your career, your education.
Mm-hmm.
It's about how you really align yourself to understand what is that I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. So why do you think it is that women struggle to dream big in love? What do you think?
I don't think it's just a woman thing. I think it's both on both sides. I think, look, I think the struggle is because there is a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think secondly, I think it goes back to your 4-step framework. It also goes back to when my wife talks about STEP. If you don't love yourself, if you don't believe in yourself,
seek
then you
self-love
can't
and awareness.
dream big enough to overcome some of these issues that you've had.
Because you don't feel worthy.
Correct.
You don't feel like you deserve to be loved in that
And
way.
if you've been dogged out enough, it's hard to sometimes to dig out from the rubble.
Yeah.
And I think that's where coaching comes in to play. It allows the coach to listen, to engage, and then let you know, hey, this is what I'm hearing.
One of the things we talked about on the retreat is the first step in my roadmap framework is to reflect on the past, but then to release what you shouldn't be carried into your future. I think one reason why women struggle is because of past disappointment. And you start thinking, well, let me be realistic. I'm not going to find a man that da 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 da.
Let me, if we can, because this is also an area we play in. Let me throw this out there for couples. Sometimes when your dream doesn't align with your spouse, that's a problem. So how are you aligning there? So we're talking about individual, but then when you come together, there's got to be an alignment. You know, what do you dream? Hey, I want a White House with a picket fence. Oh, I just want an apartment.
Yeah.
Well, that's not alignment. That's where you've got to start looking at, but dream big enough and don't settle.
And don't make your age, because a lot of the women that I tend to work with are in their late 40s and beyond. A lot of times we feel the pressure from society because of our age. You know, you fall into, maybe I should just be grateful. You know, at least he likes me. Don't settle. Please don't settle.
Look, having sisters and daughters, it concerns me that you misalign and you find someone that will not treat you the way you want them to treat you, because we compromised, we settled, and we went to the altar or the justice of the peace with not really what we wanted. We wanted a Cadillac and drove away with a Hyundai. We wanted a Lamborghini and we got, something less than. It's really understanding that if you dream big enough and if you allow God to help you widen that, then you can see how God